Vítám vás na kytarové klinice s Chrisem Buckem. A v podstatě o co jde? Téma večera bude prezentace kytarových novinek Yamaha Revstar. Kdo je Chris Buck? To asi vy všichni víte. Každopádně firemní hráč značky Yamaha. Na našem festivalu hrál už dvakrát, v roce 2019 a v roce 2022 s kapelou Cardinal Black. Dnes hraje na svůj signature model Yamaha Revstar RS02CB Honey Gold a procesor Line 6 Helix Stadium XL Floor. Užijte si dnešní večer a dámy a pánové, Chris Buck!
Ahoj, Praha.
I'm wondering why I can't find the reason why you're searching for this feeling that you used to have. I am looking through every mistake that I've made just to be the object of your blame, to make you feel whole again. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've been holding my breath for reasons. I've got no way of ever giving you enough, no. There's nothing I'm stealing there. It keeps me awake, but I gravitate towards your love. And if I could, I'd move mountains if you to be in my fractured world. I can't make it if you don't make it, 'cause it's you I want, 'cause it's you I want, yeah. I can't make it if you don't make it, 'cause it's you I want. It's finding a reason and making it right to define the rhythm of your love. The vision I needed, oh, now I'm making you mine. But you won't want me if I'm not enough, no. Can you wait? It's everything I ever wanted. Is it too late? Are you letting me go? And I can't you I want.
Thank you so much. Hi, Praha, how are you doing? You good? Awesome. Always makes me laugh, that last track in particular. I mean, first and foremost, this is great. My favourite thing in the world. A room full of guitar players, all sat there with their arms crossed, looking at me going, okay, play something impressive. Meanwhile, I'm still trying to find the fifth note of the pentatonic scale. But yeah, that last track in particular always makes me laugh. When we were recording that track, it kind of started off as kind of quite a strummy kind of like... So when I wrote that, it was kind of like... And we take it to the recording studio, and before long, before we know what's happened, chorus sounds like this. It's turned into this big kind of Black Sabbath meets Gary Clark Jr. kind of epic fuzzy monster. And accordingly, I wanted to play something big and epic and fuzzy for the chorus. So I came up with this. I was like, it's cool, it works, let's just do some fuzzy power chords. Save that last note. And our producer and engineer, Cyril, was like, it's cool, but it's a bit much. It's just a bit, it's kind of dominating everything. It's getting in the way. Can you play something else? So I was like, okay, cool. What if I played up the octave? How about this? He's like, nope, you've just moved into a different kind of register. If anything, it's getting more in the way now. Can you simplify it? I was like, okay. How about this? I had this as an alternative part. I was like, it's kind of a little bit like the vocal melody. And he was like, yeah, that's cool, but how about we leave the vocal melody to the vocalist? I was like, okay. Anyway, it went round and round and round for about an hour until we eventually settled on this. Which in the context of the record sounds great. It's big, it's fuzzy, it kind of served its purpose. What I didn't factor in at the time was then, a year later, I'll be doing guitar clinics all around Europe. And I'll have to stand up in front of a room full of guitar players and essentially open with Smoke on the Water. So, yeah, there's a lesson there somewhere. I'm not sure what that lesson is, but there is a lesson there somewhere. So, yeah, thank you very much for coming. The way I generally like to kind of run these things is rather than me just standing here and playing and talking at you, lecturing you on life, love, and the universe, is get you involved and get you to ask all of those questions, which I know you want to ask because you follow me into the toilet and ask me about my favorite tube screamer or what type of batteries I like to use in fuzz pedals. And then what usually happens is the moment you're in a room together, I'll go, any questions? And you all go, no. So as an incentive, as the first person who actually wants to ask a legitimate question, you can have my pick. So there's Cardinal Black on it, so you know it's mine. Any questions? And I shall caveat that by saying that if you can make it a question related to my new signature guitar, ta-da, you still get the same plectrum. But yeah, any questions? Yes, where was that voice from? Over there. Hello, here we go.
Hi.
I'm a man of my word. What's your question, man?
The question is, so I have a friend and he's a wonderful blues player here in Prague.
Is this like a friend? I have a friend? Is it you you're talking about? I have a friend who has a rash. Sorry, man.
He's a much better guitar player than I am.
Okay.
And he plays a lot of blues and he's a huge fan of yours as well.
Oh, cool. He's a man of good taste.
And he's always played NSG, but he bought a Revstar recently. And he thought that it's going to make him play exactly like you instantly, as we all do, or we all hope, right?
Yeah.
And that didn't work because the problem is he's tiny, and he's missing a bit of his index finger as well.
Oh, right, okay.
Which doesn't really, you wouldn't notice, he plays wonderfully, but he plays wonderfully on an SG with not a huge neck.
Yeah.
And the Revstar has quite a baseball bat kind of a neck, where it's thicker than some guitars.
Yeah, I would say my signature model neck is actually a little bit smaller. It's a little bit, I would say it's probably closer to like a D than a C kind of shaped neck. So yeah, but I can appreciate obviously SG, or some SGs can be kind of pencil thin. So yeah, I mean, especially if you're kind of working with part of your finger that's missing, yeah, probably go for a thinner neck, I would say. But yeah, cool. I mean,
so you think your signature model would be the one he should go for?
Absolutely. The funny thing is about these clinics is that Yamaha put an assassin somewhere in the room, that if I don't speak about my signature model enough, if anyone sees a red dot appear on me at any point or in the middle of my forehead, you will know why. He's here somewhere. And he'll, I mean, joking aside, I guess obviously I'm here in my capacity as a Revstar signature artist or a Yamaha signature artist, so I'm here to tell you that you should all buy my signature model. And the good news is we lock those doors, so you can't leave until you've bought one. But, I mean, guitars are such kind of individual kind of decisions, and what works for one person may not work for another. So as much as I can tell you, you know, it's a cool guitar, I think it's a cool guitar, and obviously it's been designed based on a guitar that I've been playing for the past, I don't know, 5-6 years. That may not work for some people, it may work for others. I think I've been genuinely absolutely amazed by the response that we've seen to it so far. And, you know, I mean, even down to a couple of subtle things, like we put my signature on the back of the headstock as opposed to on the front of the headstock, because if for some unfathomable reason you like my playing but you hate me, I know it's hard to believe. These people are out there. My wife is one of them. You may still like my guitar. So we thought we'd tuck the signature on the back of the headstock, and it's just, you know, the first time I saw this actually in real life in a guitar shop was in San Diego in California a couple of weeks ago after it launched at the NAMM show. And I had a cool moment of not only seeing it on a wall in a guitar shop for the first time, but also momentarily being thrown out of any recognition of it actually being my guitar. And I was like, oh, that's just a cool looking guitar. And that was kind of what we were trying to achieve, really. So just to quickly get all of the product spiel out of the way, so I've done my due diligence and Yamaha don't have to kill me before I get a chance to go to Vienna tomorrow. Obviously, this is my signature model, as we've alluded to many times already. I think, bizarrely, all of the research and development and stuff that you would typically do with a signature guitar, I kind of did without actually realizing I was doing it. Because obviously Yamaha made me a custom shop guitar back in 2019, 2020. And they basically gave me the free reign of the custom shop and said, spec a guitar, spec what you would like. So I did, and it was principally this guitar. So when it came to making my signature model, it was just a case of, okay, just make that one again, please. The only thing that we kind of really worked on for a very long time were the pickups. Obviously, pickups are pretty important in regard to how a guitar sounds. And I'd been putting different P90s in and out of my Revstar for years. Loads of different brands, big brands, Lola, Seymour Duncan, boutique brands, you know, one man and his dog in a shed in North Wales winding pickups that nobody's ever heard of. So we'd had lots of P90s going in and out of my guitar. And Yamaha said, right, we'll send you some prototypes. So they sent me, I think, maybe 5 different prototype sets of pickups, which I tried. I picked out one particular set that I really liked and then went back with a load of suggestions, lots of different changes and all this kind of stuff. I imagine Yamaha, retrospectively, were probably tearing their hair out because obviously these are engineers in Japan, very technically minded, scientifically minded people. And they're asking me for input. And I'm coming back saying, can you make it darker but also brighter? And can you make it like creamy? And all of these like lovely words that guitarists love to use, which mean absolutely nothing. But we got there in the end, and I'm incredibly proud of them. So just to kind of quickly show you what they sound like. Neck pickup on its own. It's like a magic to a P90 neck pickup where you've got a fair bit of low end and depth and resonance, but it's still not muddy, it's kind of defined. Bridge position, kind of the same, but a bit thinner with a bit more bite. But never kind of like spiky or harsh particularly. And then the magic position, the middle position. Where you get the kind of best of both worlds. You get the depth and resonance of that neck position. But with that kind of clarity and top end of the bridge. Start to roll the volume back, it almost turns into like a kind of like faux acoustic guitar. Master volume, master tone, three-way switch, because I can't count to 5 yet. And I think there's just something cool about up, down, or middle. I played strats for a very long time, and I think one of the very common sort of frustrations or complaints with strat is that the 2 and the 4 positions sound great if you can find them. And in the middle of a gig, in the heat of battle, if you're trying to find 2, you're trying to find 4, it's up, down a bit, left a bit, right a bit, down a bit. We're nearly there, and no, you've lost it. Talking about guitar pickups. Up, down, middle, there's something quite freeing and quite liberating over, up, down, or middle. That's pretty much focuses your mind on what you're meant to be doing, which is actually making music. Wrap over tailpiece. I think wrap over tailpieces and P90s together are just a magical combination. It kind of references that like Les Paul Jr. or kind of like 50s Les Paul kind of combination of things. What else we got? We got a gold finish. We've got my custom inlays. We've got a carbon fiber reinforced neck. Now, hopefully I never have to find out why you might need a carbon fiber reinforced neck. I guess in case you need to use it as a weapon, maybe. Although what I would say is much more so than my custom shop, this has been remarkably stable. As I kind of referenced earlier, the first clinics I did with this were in California, and literally like a day later, I'm in Chicago where it's like minus 21 degrees or something. It was horrendously cold. And the guitar flew under the plane, comes out on the luggage conveyor, freezing cold, still in tune, still with exactly the same setup. So maybe that's the carbon fiber, who knows. And that's it. And then my signature on the back of the headstock, in case I forget who I am, which after this little clinic run, which is about 73 cities in 12 days, is very likely. So yeah, that's it really. And that's all of the product spiel out of the way. You can ask me whatever questions you want now, whether it's, I don't know, touring, hair care, whatever. I'm an open book. Any more questions? Yes?
Yeah, so I had a question pickup related, kind of already answered.
Yeah.
But I've always seen you just with P90s. Is
Yeah.
there any reason you don't want humbuckers or like combination of P90s? Or I guess it's like the 5-way switch, so
yeah.
I kind of understand it, but
I mean, I do use a lot of other guitars. I'm sure Yamaha would much prefer it if I was musically monogamous, as it were, and just used Revstars. But with Cardinal Black recently, the opening guitar of the set has been an SG with humbuckers for the kind of like real rock moments of the set. Then there's a Jazzmaster, which are often confused as P90 pickups, but they're very much their own thing. And then it's over to the Revstar. So there's a fair amount of variation of guitars in the set. I honestly, when it comes to guitars, I'm a musician. This is my job. These are my tools, and I've always been pretty pragmatic about that, I guess. I don't get too romantically involved with my guitars. Don't get me wrong, I would be very sad if anything happened to this or my custom shop, but it's just a tool of my trade. And if you're building a house or you're building a shed or whatever you're doing in your job, you use the right tools for the job. And I can try and shoehorn a guitar with P90s into a different situation, but if it doesn't work, probably just use a guitar that does work. So I love humbuckers. I love PAF humbuckers in particular, those kind of earlier kind of iteration of them. They have a lot in common with P90s. There's like a transparency and a sort of like a high-end like clarity and articulation that you don't really get in a lot of modern humbuckers. Jazzmaster pickups do their own thing. Strat single coils do their own thing. Telecaster single coils do their own thing. At the end of the day, if you want a guitar to sound like a Telecaster, probably use a Telecaster. So, especially with guitars being as relatively affordable as they are these days, in years gone by, I can see why everyone was modding their guitars to do all crazy kind of stuff, because guitars were incredibly expensive and unaffordable. But now you can, pick up a very good, very serviceable, quote unquote, cheap guitar. So there's no excuse not to kind of experiment, really. So, but yeah, P90s for me are my favorite pickup of all time. I think it's a bit of a cliche, but they do that like halfway point between like Strat single coils and humbuckers. You get the pretty kind of like clarity. But push them a bit, and you get. Get such a fat kind of singing kind of drive sort of sound. Keep lumping gain on it. Maybe not, but you get my point. They're just very versatile, great sounding pickups if you do them right, which is why we spent an eternity on these. These were the one part of the guitar that I was like, if we can't get the pickups right, let's not bother doing it. And over the years, I've been very spoiled. One of the cool things about starting a YouTube channel is that the moment you start to get people watching on a regular basis, all of these interesting people start coming out of the woodwork saying, I've got a 56 Strat. Do you want to do a video with it? And I'm like, yes, please. I've got a 55 Gold Top. You might like it. I probably will. I got a 59 Les Paul. Okay, it's worth more than my house. Let's do a video with it, which is great, but it also absolutely spoils you because suddenly you have access to all of these guitars and sounds, which, short of selling your kidneys, I'm never going to be able to afford. But it does spoil you in regard to, okay, that's how good they can sound. How can we do that today and still make it affordable, you know? So, but yeah, P90s, pound for pound, probably my favorite pickups, I think. So, but if you want humbuckers, probably use humbuckers.
Yeah, that's what I had. So.
Yeah.
I'm asking.
Amazing, man. Awesome. Any more questions?
Hey Chris,
Yeah. Disembodied voice coming from somewhere.
which color do you like the best?
Which colour? Gold. How did you guess? Honestly, the gold thing with this guitar came from, I kind of referenced it then, probably my dream guitar, if I can ever afford it, which at this rate, no, is probably like a 54 or 55 Les Paul Gold Top, which, funnily enough, you may recognise the specs of this guitar, 2 P90s, wrap tail. It's pretty much a 54, 55 kind of inspired guitar. I just think there's something very cool. I grew up not liking gold guitars. I grew up like Slash was my hero for a very long time. So watching Slash play like Sunburst Les Pauls, I was like, that's the coolest looking guitar in the world. And then kind of moved on to like, you know, Stevie Ray, and I was like, oh, cool, it's still Sunburst, it's a different shade of Sunburst, but it was like Sunburst for a very long time. And whenever Slash used to play a Gold Top, I was always like, that's such an ugly guitar. And then fast forward 15 years, I have my own signature Gold Top. So I've done quite the 180. But yeah, gold probably, pound for pound. But I like solid colour guitars these days. Pale and blue, gold, kind of all those kind of cool sort of 50s inspired colours. If they made a Corvette in the colour, I probably like it. Any questions?
May I ask you about setup of your sound, about, especially about compressor? Because you have very smooth sound with long sustain.
Yeah.
So very often you play by fingers, so you have a lot of pull-off, hammer-on,
Yeah.
bending, and you have sometimes longer
Yeah.
after bend.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you. Well, I'm just a very smooth person. So no, joking aside, I think I went through a phase when I was playing Stratocasters. I would use compressors a lot, and it was to kind of even out the dynamics, I guess. But with the Revstar, I've never used a compressor. So my clean tone, for example, at the moment, obviously I'm using the Helix today. My clean tone is running into like a Fender style amp, deluxe reverb, with a bit of reverb. No compression on that. So if you kind of really dig in, if you play softly, there's a big volume difference. So then it's down to how you control that volume difference with your picking hand. Whether you really kind of like dig in, or whether you... It's why I play a lot with my fingers as well as a plectrum, is you can't really do that with a pick. You can play super soft with a plectrum, but it's still like bright, still quite aggressive and quite harsh because it's a piece of plastic. It sounds like a piece of plastic. If you do that with your fingers, it's darker, it's a little bit more subtle, it's a bit more nuanced, but you can also dig in with your fingers. You can kind of make your fingernail sound a bit like a pick. If you dig in with a pick, try and do that with your fingernail, kind of sounds similar. So you've got all of this like dynamic and textural and tonal variation just by flicking back and forth between using a pick and using your fingers. And it's an interesting technique to try and get your head around. You'll inevitably drop a lot of plectrums. Thinking back, I think the reason that I started playing with my fingers as well as a pick I would have been about 15, so I can't credit myself with the musical intelligence to say that I thought it would make me a more dynamic, more interesting player. I think what probably happened was I was sat on the sofa, dropped the pick, it disappeared into that ether that pen lids and plectrums seem to disappear into when you drop them. And I'm there probably trying to play some Slash solo. And I thought, right, let's try and see how far I can get just by using my fingers. And there's a lot of stuff that even today I still can't do with my fingers. A lot faster, kind of like, take something like all those kind of like faster Slash runs. You can't, it's just difficult to do. You can't really do it. So I thought, okay, what can I do with my fingers that I can't do with a pick? And it's all of that stuff. It's that softer. You've just got a lot.
Absolutely.
Oh, thank you.
Your fingerboard is absolutely absolute.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you. You've got so much more control if you can use your fingers as well. It's such a helpful kind of thing to be able to do.
For your side, I like finger.
Oh, cool, man. Awesome. It's very helpful, and it's
Nice tone.
yeah.
Beautiful tone. And your style of playing on the guitar is more vocal.
Oh, thank you.
It's absolutely beautiful.
Thank you very much. I spent a lot of time trying to sound like singers, and that's probably one of the questions I get most frequently, other than "How are you so handsome?" No, nobody ever asks that. Funnily enough, probably the question I get most frequently is, "How do you try and sound more like a vocalist when you play?" And like one thing I do all of the time, just as a kind of like an exercise more than anything else, is take a scale. Take something like a C major scale. Take a string, and not the A string, but a string, whichever one you want, and play that scale. Then think, okay, how can I now do something vocal and interesting and melodic just using one string? So you might do a kind of like... like a minor for a second. Try and be able to solo or say something musical or say something interesting just on one string, because then you can start sounding more like a singer. Guitar players, we're very guilty of, like, it's a very common question, how do I get out of the box? I feel stuck in the box, the pentatonic box or whatever. I can't ever recall a time where Aretha Franklin or Otis Redding or Ella Fitzgerald or whoever was going, I feel stuck in a box. Because they don't think in terms of boxes or shapes or scales or positions or modes or whatever. They think low to high, because that's how your voice works. That's how your vocal cords are laid out. You're either doing a low note or you're doing a high note. And it runs like that. Low to high. So try approaching the guitar in the same way. So many of my guitar solos are literally spread over like one or two strings where you just kind of like, I don't know, you B in your E string. Very vocal way of playing, and it sounds more musical to me than running up and down your pentatonic positions. And as soon as you limit yourself to 1 or 2 strings, you can't do all of that stuff. Even if you wanted to, you can't do the runs and the kind of like that we all love to do because they're great fun. You can't do it, so it makes you think differently. Then, if you want to go down that rabbit hole of trying to sound more like a singer, think, what do singers do? How do they make notes interesting or different? Like, the example I always use is take like a really super obvious melody. We've talked about Slash, Sweet Child of Mine. Play the melody for Sweet Child of Mine. If you wrote it down as sheet music, it would be this. That's the melody. It doesn't sound like that when Axl Rose sings it, because he's a person and not a machine, just about. So, think, what's he doing? That first note, she's got a smile. How would you get to that note? If you're singing that note, literally if you are singing it, no singer on earth goes in straight at the pitch. It's like a very vocal little kind of like technique that you will come at the note from slightly under it, because it helps you pitch it. So you might go, nobody's going to go, she's, and straight on the note. You would go, she, it'd be like a little ramp into it to get to the note. Let's try and do that on a guitar. How would you do that on a guitar? You might bend into it. You might bend into it from a full step below. So that was a half step. You might go from a full step below. You might go from a tone and a half below. You might slide into it from a half step below. Full step below. 1.5. First fret. However you want to get to it. Some of them sound more vocal than others. And then you start to think, okay, once I land on that note, what am I going to do? And if you're a guitar player and you're anything like me, it'll probably be this. Start wiggling away, because it's what guitar players do. You're taught that you land on a note and you have this amazing thing at your disposal called vibrato. So you go, and we add it without any thought whatsoever as to what vibrato actually is. Think about, for a second, what is vibrato? If you hear a singer add in vibrato to a note, it's kind of as the note is decaying. As they're singing a note, it will start to decay, and vibrato comes in when they're trying to maintain that note or sustain it. You get this natural fluctuation in your voice where it starts to kind of gradually waver. But it comes in towards the end of the note. You don't hear Whitney Houston land on a note and start sounding like a goat. Vibrato will go. It'll be added towards the decay of the note to try and keep it sustaining. And it's not one size fits all. It can differ in speed and intensity. So you get this. Not. Which sounds very two-dimensional to me. So, all in aid of making things sound more vocal. How are you moving between things? If you start playing that melody like Sweet Child of Mine, but thinking like a singer, suddenly starts to sound more vocal, starts to sound more interesting than just. You can apply that to pretty much anything you do, and it all starts to sound a little bit more interesting. I'm going to play a solo a minute that some of you may recognize, some of you don't. If you do recognize it, shout. Let's have a look. genuinely, for all of the things that I've ever done in my life, cool, big, cool rock starry things, it's probably that's the most impactful 30 seconds of my life. The funny thing was, when Paul asked me to do that video, I'd just become a dad. I'd become a dad like 2 days before, maybe. So I was literally and figuratively up to my knees in shit. And Paul emailed me saying, do you want to record this solo for a video? I was like, yeah, cool. Later. Not now. So I remember he sent the backing track through, and such was my kind of rush to get this done that I think probably altogether I spent maybe an hour on that, and that's including downloading the backing track, coming up with a solo in, recording the solo, filming the video, sending it to Paul. It probably took me about an hour. In hindsight, if I knew that millions and millions and millions and millions of people were going to watch that, I probably would have put more effort into it. But it's probably good in a way that I didn't get a chance to put more effort into it, because I probably would have ruined it, and you would have ended up with, tap-in or something. It forced me to think melodically, it forced me to think musically as opposed to technically, because most of that solo I came up with in a car, driving, without a guitar, just driving along, listening to the backing track that Paul had sent me, and humming a solo over it. Humming what I would, if I could sing, and I didn't have a voice like a goose farting in the fog, what I would sing. If I was Aretha Franklin, if I was Sam Cooke, or I was Otis Redding, I would go, basically got home, hummed the solo, figured out what key the song was in, because I didn't know that at this point. I'd just been listening to it in the car. Figured out what I'd been whistling, which was... and figured out where to play it on the guitar. And like I said, it probably took me about an hour. And yeah, like I said, for some reason, it just seemed to connect with a lot of people, and a lot of people have enjoyed it. I still get tagged in covers of that every single day on YouTube. Some better than others. That bend in particular is a tricky one. Trying not to sound like a cat stuck in the door. Can be difficult, but it just seemed to connect with a lot of people, and I use it a lot as a little lesson as to kind of how I approach building solos. There's a couple of things worth mentioning in this. First and foremost, the most obvious one, you can be a non-musician and you will pick this up. Where do I start that solo? Right at the bottom of the neck, about as low as you can physically go. Where do I finish it? Up at the top of the neck, or most of the way towards the top of the neck. Tell me how it feels solo. Start at the bottom of the neck. Where do I finish? On the 29th fret. Your Spark Blows Me to Pieces solo, the second track I played. Down the bottom of the neck. Where do I finish? Right up at the top of the neck again. 99% of my guitar solos all have this in common. You start low, you aim high. You take people on a bit of a journey. You can flip that round, and I'll try that now for argument's sake. Do it in reverse. Start high, and then aim low. It'll sound a bit weird, probably. Work. I don't think I played any particularly wrong notes, but instead of feeling like I was telling you a story and taking you on like an interesting journey with my solo, I felt like I started the book by going, he's the killer, and then just explained my workings for the rest of the book, as opposed to opening the book with the murder, with the mystery, with, you know, whatever the crux of the story is, and then getting to the point and building slowly to that point of the grand reveal. For me, the climax of my solo on that Paul Davids video is not the actual ending, it's this bit. That's the kind of moment where you find out who the killer is, to continue that analogy. That's the moment where it all unravels and you can understand everything that's kind of built to that point. And then the ending is just figuring out if everyone lives happily ever after or not. Tell a story, build a narrative, take people on a journey when you solo, instead of just mindlessly running the kind of same old licks that you know, or, you know, whatever it happens to be. Try and tell a story. Try and take people on a little bit of a journey. And that's one cool way to do that. Start low, aim high. Another thing I do all of the time, and again, this is all probably going to ruin my guitar playing for you, if you like my guitar playing, because I'm showing you behind the curtain here. It's the Wizard of Oz bit. Is, don't be afraid to repeat yourself. Don't be afraid to repeat yourself. Odds on, what you've just played, the lick that you just played a second ago, there's more meat on those bones than you gave yourself credit for. Take this lick, starts the solo. Count how many times that appears throughout the course of the solo. We got... exactly the same lick. About 2 seconds later, I repeat it again. Two options as to why I do that. Number one, I'm lazy and I ran out of ideas very quickly. Secondly, because I'm a musical genius, I'm joking, because it's a melody. What is a chorus in a song? Why does everyone get to the chorus of the song, whatever the chorus is, and want to sing it? It's because it's memorable and you've heard it before. You probably heard it when they played the chorus last time round. That's what melodies are. They're meant to be memorable and they're meant to be repeated. Don't be afraid to repeat yourself. I kind of repeated there. That second bit of the solo. I definitely repeated here. Second part of the solo at the halfway point. The first lick of the second part of the solo. Exactly the same lick. Just played in a different place. Like I said, either I ran out of ideas very quickly, or I want to give the listener something to wrap their ear around and go, I recognise that because he just played it 10 seconds ago. It's a nice little way of tying your solo together, tying your guitar playing together, and giving the audience a sense of confidence that, oh, he does know what he's doing, he's not just winging it. Don't be afraid to repeat yourself. Like I said, odds on what you just played, there are far more ideas or far more kind of you can get out of what you just played than you probably gave yourself credit for. Guitar playing is meant to be memorable, and there's a reason why all of the best guitar solos in the world have little repeated ideas and motifs and melodic ideas that you can kind of recognize and you can probably hum. The amount of people that come up to me and go, oh, I love that solo you did on the Paul Davids video, but and they will hum it to me as though I didn't play it myself. I'm like, yeah, no, cool, I know how it sounds, but the fact that they can hum it is encouraging, because then I wrote something memorable and interesting. So, cool. I'm going to play 2 more tracks, because we're probably running out of time, and then all of those people that wanted to ask me what batteries I use on my fuzz pedal, but were too afraid to do it now, I'll just hang out, come and have a chat, we'll have photos, we can you know, you can play my guitar, whatever you want to do. Right, 2 more songs. This always makes me laugh. So these are 2 Cardinal Black tracks, and the first backing track, the only backing track I have available of it, so the only track without guitar on it, basically, is from a live album that we did. So at various points, I have Tom not only encouraging the audience to stand up and sing along, but also encouraging me in the middle of a guitar solo. So even when I'm not with him, Tom is still with me in spirit.
And the solid doors and dance on floor, those painted walls, the held all our phones. Welcome home. sweet solitude. Yeah, yeah. Gotta stay on your feet. You might be needed again. In those early nights, in those midnight flights, just to get on home and just to be alone with you. There's not much change between comfort and control. Can anybody help me? Because there's nothing like this sound of silence. And I need your warm love. Oh, your warm love. I got to have your warm love. Yeah, and that's killing me deep down inside. I need your warm love that I can't hide. And you're moving on. Yeah, you've been moving on. And that new job you've got, but you don't like that man. And never held you back from living your life. Nobody help me. 'Cause there's nothing like this sound. Can anybody stop this raining down time? It's and I need your warm love. Oh, your love. I got to have your warm love. Yeah, and that's killing me deep down inside. I need your warm love that I cannot hide. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's killing me inside.
Thank you very much. What? Amazing. One of you lucky people has won an evening with me, or that Revstar. The choice is yours. Right. Right, how are we doing? Number 61. I'm amazed that wasn't 69 after some of the innuendos this evening. 61.
It's actually me.
Is it amazing? And for what it's worth, if I couldn't have my signature model, that would be the one I would have. Genuinely, honestly, out of all of the new Revstars, that's my favourite. Humbuckers sound great. It's just and a three-way switch, not five-way. Simple man. Congratulations, brother. Like I said, I'm going to hang around at the front now, so if you want to chat, if you want some photos, if you want me to sign anything, kiss your baby, whatever it is, I'm around. Thank you very much.